Force Riser! Jump! Force Rise! Rising Hopper!
A jump through the sky turns to a rider.
Breakdown!
Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, SHF Kamen Rider Zero-One. So, once again, this is a rider that was only seen in the movie, or should I say exactly form. This form was used by Aruto himself, the main character of Kamen Rider Zero-One series. In the movie, he wasn't able to transform with his regular belt because of, I'm not going to get too complicated, but there was basically a reason that he couldn't transform with his belt, so he used a different belt to transform into this form. So once again, this form was only seen in the movie, and you are probably going to buy this if you actually like the design as well, or you know that you want to display this with the upcoming P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider Ichigata. So that's kind of my situation as well. Alright, so this is going to be a somewhat simple figure to review, but once again I'm going to do some comparisons because some people are getting some wrong ideas, or I just want to point out some stuff that people don't really point out. Alright, so let's see what we got. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the rider himself, the Kamen Rider Zero-One, and definitely loving this, like, this prototype-ish look, and the more beefy and bulky look compared to the skinny-ish Zero-One. Once again, other than that, you still get the Force Riser opened up version, and then hand-wise, it comes out of the box with the fist hands. And once again, on the Force Riser, which is the belt itself, it's right on there, and it does not actually move, but you still get the opened up version of the Rising Hopper key, the progress key. And then, despite having two slots for the belt, on each one for each slot, there is no closed up progress key, which is technically correct for this situation. He never actually had extra keys when the time he was using these. And here we get its accessories, or basically a bunch of hands. Now, some of these hands were kind of odd to me, because when I first opened the box and I was looking at these hands, and they were kind of odd, because some of them were really hard to differentiate. So let's go one by one. So other than the fist, you get 1, 2, 3, 4. Including the fist, you get 5 sets of hand and 1 extra hand for the right hand. So let's go from the front. So these hands are pretty much their basic multi-purpose hands slash weapon holding hands. Now, this thing does not come with any weapons, but on the box it does mention if you have the attached caliber, you can use it on this figure with using these hands, because these are one of those semi-trigger finger-ish hands to hold weapons. In the Kamen Rider universe, most weapons have triggers, so to activate a certain effect or final attack, so yeah. So that's that. Nothing too special about that one. And then here we have some pointing fingers, but slightly open hands with pointing fingers for left and right. So yeah, you can actually use these for pointing fingers, but they also do give you a full-fledged pointing finger for the right hand, so which kind of makes these ones kind of a little bit odd. But my guess is that these are also for specific weapons. If you want to use these, use a very specific weapon from a different rider series, or like, yeah, that's just my guess. And if you want to use these for specific poses, I guess that's the main reason why they give you these hands. To be honest, most of these hands are mostly for that purpose. Now, these two sets are kind of odd. So, I believe it's these molds are the typical molds that you would get for a fully open hand. So, these ones are pretty common. So, these are pretty, you should be used to these type of hands. But these ones are almost the same, but slightly more open. So, let's see. So, you can see the fingers are slightly more opened, and yeah, once again, a little bit odd to me, but yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess. So that's that. And that was pretty much it for the hands. No weapons as well, because in the series he usually fights, he only relies on his combat instincts as well. Of course, he does actually use the attached caliber like once or twice in the movie, but okay. But I would have to admit, the fighting scenes that Zero-One was in, especially when the battle was Ichigata, it was really amazing. Alright, so let's look at the overall articulation, then I'll do some comparisons. So, number one, I do follow this other Korean YouTuber who basically is the main, like, YouTuber guy in Korea to review, like, tokusatsu stuff. And he did mention about this figure looking a little bit less bulky, not bulky enough. And I think it was just the pictures. I will admit the pictures did make him look a little bit skinnier, but I think it's not, I think it's bulky enough. So I think it's just one of those things where the difference between watching through a picture and then actually having the real thing. All right, so let's get the articulation. I really love the design compared to the regular Zero-One. To me, because he looks much more bulkier and hence much more powerful, and it has that prototype-ish feeling, which is technically, in a way, yeah. Okay, so you can move the head down that much and then up that much, which is actually a lot compared to other figures when you think about it. And then 360 is not possible because mostly the chin is getting in the way. And once again, there's a human inside, so I don't think that it should be possible. It shouldn't be able to do that as well. Okay, and then the shoulders, we actually have these shoulder covers as well. So these shoulders do slightly move. I believe they are on a ball joint in a specific angle, and because of that, it's connected to the actual arm, so you don't need to worry about that. But you can go 360 on the arm as well, and you can go to the side about 90 degrees, and we still get your rotation on the lower arm itself. And because of this bulkiness, they really wanted to give this bulkiness to the point where it's actually hindering the articulation. So usually a armband would go 90 degrees or slightly more. This one seems to be exactly 90 degrees or slightly less than 90 degrees because how everything is so bulky here. So it's like some parts are colliding with each other. So that's the kind of situation here. And we still have your forward and backward shoulder movement. And I believe, yeah, we have these parts, not the actual shoulders, but these parts are around the neck, can slightly move up and down for each side. Now the body, we have a pretty decent ab crunch. I think the ab crunch is pretty well made in this figure. And then 360 twist on the entire body, it's not possible. For this one, it's really stiff, so it's barely moving. And looking at the back, we definitely have some familiar looks, especially this part right over here, which we saw it in Kamen Rider Horobi, and a bunch of straps here and there. And then looking at the belt, once again, I've shown this in Kamen Rider Horobi review. We have the force riser opened up. The handle latch here does not move. This is actually the part where you control the belt, where you can open and close and open to do the final tag move or transform in general. And once again, unlike the DX version, yeah, we can just pop it out right here. So, and the progress key are once again lacking detail, which at this point you should be used to it. And then let's see, now looking at the legs, we have a nice side swivel going on here. We can go about less than 90 degrees because of the bulkiness, and then back not so much because how the way the structure is. And then we can go to the side of less than 90 degrees due to the design. And then for the legs, we can have a nice bend going on there, and the feet are really nice. You have your side to side movement, and we have a very nice pivot with a extra toe bend that goes up. Alright, so we've seen the basic of the figure. So it has the, qualities and aspects of a regular SHF. So I don't think there should be any problem with articulation or quality in general for this figure. So now let's start with the comparison. So obviously I've seen some people compare it with the basic regular, give you a moment. There we go. So I've seen a lot of people compare this with the regular Zero-One, and that's what I'm going to do as a start. So let me just get this guy standing. And here we have the regular Zero-One, which was pretty much seen in the series. So obviously it has a much more, this is a more complete look. So obviously it's more skinnier and it should be more high-tech compared to the 001 form. But once again, as I mentioned, one of the biggest difference regarding this is the overall bulk. You can see the 001 form using the force riser is much more bulkier, and definitely has that more extra muscle look going on here. Why am I having so much trouble making this guy look stand up straight? So yeah, you can definitely tell the difference, and I do understand like a lot of people actually do prefer this design when it was first revealed, but they each have their own charms. So I'm just gonna point that out. So now a lot of people were comparing this with Kamen Rider Horobi Origin, for example, for those who have another SHF that uses the Force Riser. And I can totally understand that, because obviously when we think about the Force Riser, we think about Horobi. And if you think they are from the same mold, you are partially right. The only part I can actually figure out that's the exact same mold would be the upper torso. Oops, sorry about that. The upper torso section, this top section here on the main middle, is pretty much the same mold. If you look at only get different colors, and if you look at the back, you even have the same mold on the back right over here. So that is partially correct. They did use some mold of the Kamen Rider Horobi, but not entirely. The shoulders, arms, legs are all different. So now let's take this one out, and what I figured out is that when I first actually got this figure, and when I first touched it, I had something I got like a quick flashback and thinking, hey, this looks really familiar, and I figured it out that this figure actually uses a lot of mold or some design aspects from Mad Rogue, or I believe some people pointed out that from the Engine Bros or the Engine Hell Bros, but I don't have that figure. So let's start from the bottom. So as you can see, the legs, now it could be, you may not be able to see this because of the color, but if you look at the boots here, or the top sections of it, not the feet, the boots here, like right over here, they are the same design. I believe some details on the legs are slightly different, but these boots, I believe they are the exact same design and size. Even have the straps, but it's just the overall color combination that makes it a little bit difficult to see, but they are the exact same molding. And then the arms. Now the arms, I believe they're almost the same, but except the arms don't have these fins going on here. It's just the color which makes it really hard to find, but you can see these extra screw. Sorry about that. So you can see those 4 screws on the arm. They are also present on Mad Rogue as well. So that's interesting enough. Even the arms, the bulky arms, once again, it's only missing the fins. It's the same mold with the exact same straps. And the same goes for the knees. You can see same mold design, different colors. And of course, the actual leg itself, we actually get more strap designs here, so the actual side parts should be slightly different, and I think that's pretty much it for the comparison. So it's not a 100% reuse of a single rider, so it does use some extra different molds from different series, different riders, and different parts, and it does have its own unique design. And for those who don't know, they actually did showcase a Kamen Rider, I forgot the exact name, but I think it was Ikazuchi, Kamen Rider Ikazuchi, where it uses the Dodo Zetsumetsu keys, Zetsumetsu Ride's key. So that should be interesting, and that rider should use the same mold as this. So I'm kind of excited for that, as long as it comes with its unique sword. And that's pretty much it for the review. So honestly, if you really like this form from the movie, you would really, I would kind of suggest you get one, because if you're also planning on getting Kamen Rider Ichigata, I'm pretty sure you're going to have a lot of fun posing them together and recreating that battle scene. And overall, I would say this is a really good figure. For those who think or who saw the original regular Zero-One had that a little bit too slimish or boring feeling, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a little bit more different opinions on this version. So anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider 001. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.